What is the difference between a sin, a mistake, and a habit? A sin is any action that is promoted or prompted by the sin nature. Whether you're born again or not. If you're born again, you no longer have the sin nature. You now have the body of Christ. However, occasionally Satan will want to tempt you with a sin. For you to know what a sin is, not about whether the action was bad. A sin can still be a sin, and yet it will be politically correct. It may even be high sounding, or even sound legal, or sound moral, but it's still a sin. Romans chapter 14 verse 23 says, for whatever is not of faith is sin. That means that as long as that action is not being prompted and promoted by God, it is a sin. How would you know if it's a sin? In this realm of life, it may be okay. But in the final analysis, in the final judgment, when everything will be tested by fire, those things that you did by not being prompted by God that you thought were good and wonderful and all of that will be burnt by fire, and you will suffer a great loss. Do you see? So whatever is not of faith is sin. Also, whatever is prompted by the sin nature or by the devil or by the sin symbiote, it's also sin. Okay. On the other hand, a mistake is a miscalculation, is an error in human judgment. You just didn't know. It was an unintentional slip. It was caused by maybe your physical limitations or maybe by your mental limitations. The distinction is that a mistake is an error of the head. It is not necessarily a rebellion of the heart. So when you hear people say they've cheated and it was only a mistake, we know it's not a mistake. Why? Because it is a rebellion of the heart. It is not just an error of the head. So how does God deal with mistakes? God knows our frame. He remembers that we are dust. He knows. So when you say you're sorry, it's fine. Now, what is a habit? A habit is a repetitive behavioral pattern. It happens over and over again, but you see, this pattern comes from the sin nature, and the sin nature uses this pattern to gain a legal landing strip in your life. The reason why it does this is so that you'll be able to establish control over you. Sin can be an isolated event, but a habit is a structured stronghold. That's the difference. They are both from the same source, but a habit is a structured stronghold. And the enemy uses this to be able to master you and to control you. And I've told you should not be under the control of another. Sin should not be your master. A habit should not be your master. Whatever it is that you're having, you are addicted to, they should not control you.